So I thought I'd take a moment to make a short video to give you kind of a glimpse as to why I like coming down to the Illinois River to shoot some pinhole work. There are challenges to shooting at the river. Some days there's just not much going on out here. There's not really any sticks that are left behind by the fishermen. Sometimes the water's up from the flooding, and it makes it really, really hard to try to find a good photograph or just even feeling just creative or inspired. And then there's other days. There's a lot of barge traffic. There's so many things on the beach that are left behind by people who've just come down and enjoying the day out here. So you never really know what you're going to get. The landscape with the river always changes, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad, but regardless, it's one of my favorite spots to come down and take photographs. What do I normally shoot down here? When I come down to the river, I would say 99% of the time, A, I have my pinhole camera, and B, I have my either Delta 100 or Ilford Pan F film. I started off shooting Ilford Pan F. I love the contrast that it gave, especially down here. If the sun is out, the glare, the sun that's off the water can be a little tricky sometimes, and the exposures are very, very fast. So I started out with Pan F, and I loved it. And then Corey Cannon of Pinhole Cannon, the Lensless podcast, he suggested that I try Delta 100. And so I gave it a shot, and I love it just as much, if not more. As a matter of fact, I'm finding that that's kind of been my go-to lately, just for any conditions. I will say it is a little bit more tricky in the bright sun with the glare, but I've made it work and I've had a lot of fun. So you really can't go wrong with either one of those films, but generally that's exactly what you're going to find in my camera bag. So I had to do that real quick and just grab my phone to let you know. You know, a lot of times I'll take advantage, and I don't even know that a shot's going to happen, but when a boat crosses by on the river and creates all those waves, that is perfect for pinhole, because the waves, the motion of the water, and kind of depending on how long the exposure is, that's why I took multiple shots there, because I wasn't quite sure how the exposure, because it was going to, a quick exposure, how necessarily, the motion's going to turn out. But that's just kind of an example of when you're down here, you just never know when a shot's going to happen, and you just got to be ready. Now, here's another example of not knowing what shots you're going to get whenever you show up. So right now we have, you can see off in the distance there, we've got two barges. One has been there most of the afternoon, and the other one kind of showed up. I thought it was coming down here, and then it stopped, and I wasn't exactly sure why. Until now. Let me, as you can see right over here, we've got another one coming. And so what I'm just gonna have to do right now is wait. So it's almost here, and my goal is to get two images. The first image I'm trying to get is just a shot of the tug and the barge with the channel marker kind of all together. The second shot is going to be afterwards, so I can get the waves and see if I can get a little bit more motion in the shot, because these waves are going to be huge, more so than the fishing boat that came by earlier. So we'll see. Okay, I have 2 more exposures left, and this barge and tug has a little bit more stuff on it. I guess it's a little bit more easier to see in the pinhole shot versus the other one. There wasn't much really as far as large cargo. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait just a little bit longer and make my final 2 exposures on this one that's coming by, and then develop it later on tonight and see what I got. So one of the cameras that I frequently use down at the river is my pinhole camera from Pinhole Works. Sergey does a tremendous job with these. They're made out of driftwood off the Baltic coast, and I just absolutely love the look. I love how the image just comes out of it. I love everything about it. This is the first one that I purchased from him. I have 4 total, and I'm going to do a separate video to show you those at another time. But when I come down to the river, this is generally one of the first ones that I pick up. It shoots 6x6, and I absolutely love that format. I kind of visualize in square, and I really like the look of a 6x6 photograph. So this is pretty much what you're going to see with me down here at the river, and I absolutely love it.